Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive. So happy to be connecting this Wednesday evening. And how is everyone doing? So happy solar eclipse, happy new moon in Scorpio. I don't know that happy is actually necessarily the right word and the right term to use for the energy that's going on right now, but we are staying in high vibration. So let's use words that are also high vibrational. So happy is one of them, and hoping you guys are doing really, really well, and that you are navigating whatever energies and whatever, frankly, is showing up in your world at this time. And I hope that you're navigating it with confidence, and that you're navigating it understanding that you're not alone. Everyone is going through this. So, people who are watching this, you're already very sensitive. You understand energy. You're curious. You're seeking. There are so many other people out in the world who are not, and they're completely unaware of energy and how things are going. And those people are equally as affected by what has been transpiring energetically. Can you imagine having all of this stuff going on and having zero idea, zero awareness that maybe there's some other stuff going on? You would think that you're losing your mind, right? We all think we're losing our minds, and we know what's going on. So I think it's time for us to, I want to say, throw some compassion bones to, sort of the greater wide world out there, that we send some of our own, I want to say, our own awareness, our own knowledge and information, and our own seeking to, and that awareness through the seeking into the collective conscious, so that others who maybe aren't aware can kind of tap into that, can have a little bit of that experience. We can share a little bit of the love. I feel like that's kind of important today to talk about. So tonight we have Mr. Keone back. How are you, Keone?
I'm doing good, especially since I've got to put these cards in here 3 minutes before showtime.
Yeah, I threw him a bone. So today has been a rather interesting day. In the last 2 hours in particular, my 2 hours got completely hijacked by sort of a technical issue that I think, I think we have a resolve on it. We're going to see how things go, but you just roll with the punches. So 5 minutes before showtime, when normally I do it first thing in the morning, I sent Keone our cards, our card decks and stuff for today. So yeah, he's working hard for his money today.
You just wanted to make me sweat a little.
I am trying to make you sweat. All right. So for all of you who are just joining today, I'm Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive. Thank you so much for coming in and being willing to share your energy and check it all out. What we're going to be tapping into today is a little bit of the archangels. We're going to be channeling the archangels. We're going to be channeling a word or a phrase of the week, depending on what they want to share with us. We got card pulls. We've got grab your decks section, where we're going to go in and we get a general reading, but then we're going to sort of make it more individualized for you, help you to I want to say, build a relationship with your own deck, which is really cool. And there's a little bit of, I want to say, sort of a Q&A component to that. If you want to come on live and be a guest star on the show, we would love to have you. There's something in the comments that you can click on to let Keone know that you'd like to participate. Some of us are totally fine to be on camera. Some of us are a little shyer and would rather just maybe have the video off. Either or is good. And if you don't want any part of that at all, feel free to submit any comments in the comments in the feed. We would love to see you. And for those of you who are returning, my loyal and faithful peeps, so excited to be connecting with you today, to keep that connection going, because quite frankly, that's what we need right now. Is we all need some tried and true connection, so that we know that we're not alone on this, as I always say, this wild ride called life. So thank you to all of you watching on YouTube, the Black Feather, Facebook, and I've got my Insta peeps over here as well, who are kind of listening in and seeing what's coming through. So it's one big happy family. Glad we're all here to connect and commune. So to that end, Feel free to like, subscribe, and click the bell on my YouTube if you are connecting on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, feel free to like and put comments, participate that way. We love all sorts of participation. And with that, I'm going to close my eyes and go to my happy place right now and connect with our word or our phrase of the week. Love always, love freely, for you are made of love. Love always, love freely, for you are made of love. All right, so definitely feeling that this week we are all really needing to explore what love means for each of us. I was just talking about connection. I feel like it's important for each of us on an individual level to really kind of, it's not approaching it from a mental state, but it's giving thought to, well, what is it that I feel when I am connecting to the energy of love? You know, what is that feeling? Is it a physical feeling that I'm feeling in my body? Is it just a sense or a knowing? When am I tapping into that frequency of love? Because everything, we talk about this a lot, everything is love, everything is energy, everything is love. So if we are to love freely, you know, we get caught up there. You know, there's so much division going on right now. We're in Mars right now, and Mars is about to go retrograde in, I don't know when, but it's soon. I feel like it's in the next week or something. Everybody is just, I want to say, it's like everyone's had it up to here. You know, they're at their wits' end, and people are quick to pop off, quick to react, quick to get worked up about things. I mean, myself included, I've noticed some of that just in this week, that, you know, you get to a point where, okay, I've got a long fuse, but at the end of the day, I've had all I can stand and I can't stand no more. You know, stick a fork in me. I'm done. And our guides are saying that this week it's important to really put the focus on love. And if we love freely and we are open to that, I want to say, that free connection and that free flow, then everything is, I want to say, diffused. Everything is like it's the word that's coming to my mind is dampened, but I don't want to use that word in terms of like squashing light. It feels more like it's squashing the energy, it's squashing the heat, it's squashing the overblown emotion, or the emotion that could lead to bigger blowouts, could lead to even more plosive emotion. And that is not what our world needs right now. We don't need more plosive emotion. We got plenty of that. What we need is a little bit of understanding. We need a little bit of, I was talking about compassion. We need compassion. We need awareness around what's going on. And so this message about the loving freely and opening ourselves to all of that, it's kind of like they could have said love is the answer, but love is the answer is, I want to say, a little bit not cliche, but it doesn't quite do the trick, you know, because what does that really mean? Love is the answer. Okay, what does that mean? Well, what is love? Well, if we don't really understand how we interact, how we feel, how we express love, how we are aware when we are expressing out of an energy of love or coming from love, if we don't understand all of that, how is love is the answer going to help us? It doesn't, because you can't connect to it. So this week, I feel like each of us is really going to be given an opportunity to kind of reflect and go within. Again, it's not an exercise of the mind or getting caught up in the head. It's just a reflection, using the mind to say, how is it that I actually love? And most of us will find that, you know, you love this person in this way, you love that person in that way. Well, when you get to the core of it, what is it that you feel? What is the starting point for that? That is what we need to sit into. That is what we need to, I want to say, bathe in, because when we bathe in it, we become it. We already are it, but we need to, I want to say, integrate it. We need to accept it. We need to assimilate it. and really be able to make it work for us. So definitely feeling that this week there's going to be a lot of up and down. Quite frankly, that's what I'm feeling this week coming up. A lot of up and down. So how do we navigate those ups and downs? We navigate it by being clear on how we're feeling about the love, where we're tapping into that energy. And when we do tap into that energy, then we can sort of navigate these waters because we know that everything is okay. At the end of the day, yeah, there's stuff that needs to be changed. Yeah, there's some pretty horrible stuff out there. But at the end of the day, when you're in your present moment right now, everything is okay. And when you can connect to that frequency of love and you put that out into the world, whether it's in your thought, word, or deed, we're talking about actions, we're talking about thoughts, we're talking about intentions, it's making a difference. I feel sometimes like I'm a broken record because I always talk about the proverbial pebble in the pond. You throw a pebble in the pond and it affects the whole pond. Even this tiny little pebble affects the whole pond. It's the same concept here. So if you're not aware of your feeling of love and your love flow, how can love be the answer? How can you love freely? How can you open to that? So I feel like we're all kind of getting a bit of a butt kick today to really be accountable to the words that we use. Everybody throws around the word love. Well, what does it mean to you? Get clear on that, because that's where we're really going to start to make change. When you're clear and aware of how it works for you, it doesn't matter how it works for everyone else. You're clear. And from there, you can take steps forward to really enact change or to bring about whatever it is that you're desiring in your world. If you don't know that, you can't go anywhere. You're always going to remain stuck or remain in a similar cycle, right? We talk about the definition of chaos as doing the same thing over and over again, yet expecting different results. The only way you're going to get a different result is if you make a change. So, how do you experience the frequency of love? How do you love? All right. So, what time is it? Aren't you proud of me, Keone? I remembered.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just ready to get out of this 10-month-long retrograde that I'm in.
Oh, I feel you, dude. I feel you. And I think a lot of us feel you. A lot of us have been in this. And, I wish I could tell you all, oh, yeah, it's going to get better. Just wait a couple weeks. Everything's going to be awesome. It's really not. So it's up to us to make the choice to make it awesome or to find the awesome moments in all of the chaos. Quite honestly, that's where we're at. That's really where we're at. So I'm going to say to you, Keone, I'm going to send you energy to be able to make that choice.
My sister just found out that I do these with you. So she watched and she texted me this morning, hey, ask her about my income. And she said, can you tell her I want to ask some questions about budgeting. And I said, how about this? Spend less money than you make and you'll be fine. She just hung up on me.
I bet she did. She was like, smart ass. Just ask her the question, damn it. That's funny.
What we got?
Keone's sister, if you're watching. So our first card pull, this is a tarot deck. And this is a tarot deck that I've had for a number of years. And just last night, I felt like, oh my God, I literally got out of bed and went to look for it because I was like, where is that deck? Because I have decks upstairs that I use in my recording studio. I have decks down here that I use in my own personal stuff and for social media. And then I have my office that has a bunch of decks in it. And then I've also got an area where there's storage, decks for storage. So these are decks that I never really use, but I don't really want to get rid of them yet, or I haven't found someone to give them away to. And it was in one of those boxes. And I was like, oh, thank God I didn't give it away because that would have been bad. So it is called The Fifth Tarot by Martienne Bakens. And this is a really cool deck because it is loosely based on the Rider-Waite Tarot. but they've added a fifth suit, and it's the suit of ether, or the suit of spirit. And so it's kind of an interesting take on the tarot. So this is what we're pulling. And today, for this week, it's Six of Stones, compassion. And in this deck, stones is Pentacles. So we've got Six of Pentacles. And this card here, they're representing it, or their version of this card is compassion. Now, normally in the tarot, I would say to you, Six of Pentacles for me is very much about reinvestment. How are you reinvesting in yourself? What are you doing to expand, to learn, to grow? Are you investing financially? Where are you investing all of that? Is someone investing in you? You know, I think of it in terms of investment. They're talking about compassion here. So when we tap into the energy of the message that we just got, all about the love, when we talk about compassion as well, I think that was something that I used earlier. I feel like this is coming through to say, yes, this is the answer. The answer is compassion. And what is the root word in compassion? It's passion. It's spirit, fire, energy, source. This is how we, I want to say, potentially approach our lives. The passion is what fuels us. The passion is what moves us forward. So compassion means I'm going to passionately offer this awareness and understanding to others. So I feel like in the compassion, we're actually talking about passion. And when we talk about the root, or I want to say the more traditional understanding of this card, if we look at it from a reinvestment, it's understanding I'm reinvesting in the world, or I'm reinvesting in the people around me in a different way. I'm going to approach from that passionate compassion space, or I'm passionately compassionate about people. And there's an investment in that. When you are passionate about something, you're investing your energy into it. You're investing your drive, you're investing your concept and understanding of spirit or source. So you are investing a lot of yourself. And when you are offering compassion, there's a level of investment that not only you're putting into that other person or that other situation, you're also receiving it back. So I feel like the message here is, and it's interesting because it's also a number 6. 6 is harmony, balance, and alignment. So how many of us are out of alignment with what we have been giving out versus what we've been receiving? Hands up, right? Hands up. And I mean, there shouldn't really be many people who are watching that wouldn't put their hands up there, because let's face it, you know, you might be the best self-care person in the world and have it all together and know what you're doing. You're still affected by the collective. You're still affected by the sort of the chaotic energy that we're all going through. You're affected by the birth, you know, the rebirthing of ourselves that we're in the process of gestating and creating, right? So you can be all love and light and self-care and all the rest of it, and you're still going to be affected by this. So harmony, balance, and alignment, compassion is going to bring you into alignment this week. And I'm hearing that family is a big deal this week. So having compassion for family members, seeking compassion from family members, be cautious with that. Don't have expectation of others. You can have wishes and hopes and desires, but you want to have complete acceptance, because expectance leads, unfortunately, most times to disappointment. And it's kind of a lesson in futility a little bit. It's almost like, oh my God, I just had a thought in my head and it left. When it comes back, I'll talk about it. But family members, I'm feeling very much here that it's about paying attention to where you can be a little more understanding. And, you know, this is going to really go along with any kind of inner child work that any of you are doing, where, you know, you might have a little bit of wounding from the parents or the siblings, or something that went down in your childhood or your, you know, your sort of youthful energy, and it didn't go well. And you're trying to work through that, because a lot of that stuff is coming up right now as well. Emotionally, we are in Scorpio. And so Scorpios dive deep into that ocean of emotion. So you want to have compassion for yourself, but also to have compassion. You know, one of the things, and I'm sure most of you on this call are aware of this, or on this show are aware of this, but there comes a time in most people's lives when you recognize, oh, my parents are just human. You know, they were going through their own shit and they did the best that they could, or maybe in my opinion, they didn't do the best that they could, but they did what they did because they're human. They're not perfect. They don't have all the answers. They don't know exactly what made me tick or what I really needed. And for some of you, you had wonderful parents and it was issues with your siblings or issues with your extended family. So this week, I feel like it's about diving into compassion around family members, family relationships, family matters. And sometimes it's you being compassionate, and sometimes it's you seeking that compassion from others or receiving the compassion from others. All of this is to help bring you into balance, into alignment. For those of you who are having problems with kids, your children, or I want to say kids in general, I'm hearing that this is a week where there's going to be some movement or some level of resolve. When I say resolve, I don't know that it necessarily means the resolve of an entire situation, but there's going to be resolve in a certain area. So be open to that. I feel like that's part of the universal compassion. This is spirit giving us this compassion and saying, we see how hard you're working. We see how difficult you feel or how difficult it is for you to process your feelings. And we recognize the struggle that sometimes you find yourself in, or we also acknowledge when you find that, I want to say, that level and flow of peace in all of this. And we want to acknowledge it. And we're acknowledging it through universal compassion. Everyone gets I almost said a hall pass. That's not what we're getting. We're not getting a hall pass. We're getting a free pass from the universe that is supportive. It's kind of like that, I want to say, that energy of, you know what? We know that you don't have all the answers and you're not supposed to have all the answers. It's okay. Lighten up on yourself, give yourself a break, cut yourself some slack. There's more going on here than what you are witnessing in your right now space and your right now energy. So really feeling like compassion is a big key this week. So we are pulling oracle cards from Foxfire, the Kitsune Oracle. And this is from Lucy Cavendish. And this is a really cool card. A really cool deck. I love it.
Did that card jump out at you?
It did. They always do.
I love it when they do that.
They always do. I love it too. What's frustrating is when like 3 of them jump out at me at the same time and I'm like, damn you, I haven't even asked my question yet. You're already telling me before I've even had the opportunity to ask the question. And then I'm like, okay, ask your questions. So then I'll ask the questions and then I flip over the cards and I'm like, fine. Okay, fine. I didn't need to ask the question. I already had the answer. Oh, we have Mr. Neo coming for a visit. Let's hope that his tail and his butt stays out of my face.
All right.
That was honestly, Keone, that was crazy. And they've all been fed, so that we shouldn't be going through that again today, but whatevs.
All right.
So, bringer of change. So this ties in with everything that we've been talking about. And I feel like when I look at this card, even though this isn't Archangel Michael at all, this is actually kind of like more of a fairy representation, because he's sort of in the blue garbs and he's working with blue moths. I feel very much a connection here of Archangel Michael. And so I feel like there's an energy here. Michael is the archangel of protection. He's the archangel of courage. He's the archangel of bravery. He carries the sword of truth around with him. So yeah, he's the bringer of change, because what brings about change? Truth. And what are we all in some capacity sometimes trying to avoid? Truth. Some of us aren't able to be honest with ourselves, let alone with the other people that we're existing on the planet with, right? So I feel like the sort of added message here that we're receiving is kind of a message from Archangel Michael saying, hey, I'm bringing some truth into the mix here. And whether you like this truth or not, it is what it is. And it is going to affect change, whether that's affecting change in terms of you recognizing it and choosing to step back and say, I'm not going to acknowledge it. There is a little bit of change in that. Whether you're recognizing the truth and saying, wow, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't see it that way. That's powerful. Okay, now I've got a clear direction on how to go. Or maybe it's the bringer of change that you're saying, I see the potential, bring it on. You might invite it in, right? Archangel Michael is coming through to bring change to each of us this week. In terms of the sort of the love message and all that stuff, I feel like this is separate from that. And I feel like this is kind of like a separate message of, it's time for us to all kind of get our butts in gear, that we are all, I had a conversation with a client today, we're activated. There's a level of activation. That's why all of this energy is affecting us so profoundly. We've all been activated. Everyone talks about the awakening. I've been awakened, or I'm going through my awakening. You've been activated. Your DNA has been lit up. And now what does that all mean? What is the activation? The activation is to step more into authenticity, to not be afraid to face the truth and to face it head on. What is it that you're seeing? What is it that you're hearing? What is it that you're feeling? When we are acknowledging that and we're not playing the self-doubt game, which is, the ego voice stepping in and going, oh, no, that's not what you heard. That's not what you saw. That couldn't possibly be the case. No, receive it at face value. Sit in it for a minute. That's truth. Okay, I got chicken skin, right? I feel the truth bumps, however you receive that. Allow this change to come into your space. I want to say when Archangel Michael comes in, he comes knocking on your door, invite him in. Don't send him away. Don't make the choice to close your eyes and run away. Make the choice instead to embrace the change. Excuse me, because the change is the only way that we are going to, I want to say, create this new world that is so much more peaceful. And not that it's going to be all sunshine and daisies, wine and roses. We are humans. We are here to do things. We are here to learn things. We do learn through adversity. We learn through change and shift. It doesn't always have to be a struggle. In the environment that we're in right now, we got a whole whack of people on this planet who don't understand that and choose struggle. It's our job. This is why we are activated. It's our job to be the bringer of change, to show that in spite of everything that's going on, we can do things differently. We can open ourselves to love freely, even when others don't understand what that love looks like or feels like or even is. It doesn't matter. You can still bring it. It's up to them whether they choose to receive it or not. It's not on you to make that happen. It's only on you to show up and be the bringer of change. And sometimes that change comes through, what did we say? Love is the answer, right? Well, what does that mean? Well, we're all going to figure it out this week, what it means. We've been given a challenge from on high, so to speak. So we're all going to figure that out for ourselves. And that is what is really going to, Saptarshi, love being activated. It's like I was a sleeper secret agent. In many ways, that's how all of us have felt. There are so many people. This was not my experience, but there are so many people that I engage with, clients who literally wake up one morning and suddenly they have all of this awareness and things just change. Literally, it's like it's overnight. That wasn't the case for me. I kind of was born in with a lot of this, and I had to work through my own, I want to say my own dysfunction and the trauma and the chaos of all of that in order to sort of uncover what was already there. But a lot of people are literally waking up with all of this. Again, activation. So accept this change because the change is important. The change is significant. Archangel Michael is coming through to say it's time. And he's carrying this lantern and he's got all of these little moths. So what are moths? Everybody thinks of butterflies with transformation, but moths are also very transformative. They just do it at night. Well, what is nighttime? It's darkness, shadow. So we are transforming our shadow sides. We are transforming the collective shadow side right now in some really major ways. And all of us under this Scorpio new moon are also transforming our shadow stuff that is coming up in order for us to be able to love more freely, to not have those blocks of wound and hurt and trauma and fear and all the things, right? All the things, you name it, it's there. We're releasing it. This is what is coming into our path. So I also invite each of you to to maybe sort of do a little rabbit hole, a mini rabbit hole Google search on moth spirit guide or moth spirit animal. And just notice what comes up. I haven't done it myself, actually, so I don't even know what's going to come up, but I'm just being told that maybe we all need to do that for ourselves, just to kind of get acclimated to maybe what the moth means for you. And maybe there'll be a little something in there that whatever research you find that just kind of stands out to you, and you go, oh, okay, that's the word or that's the phrase that I'm going to take with me, and not be afraid to transform through the darkness. Right? We think of butterflies as, you come out of the cocoon and everything is all about the sun and the truth and the light and the warmth and the heat and all of that. Well, there are a lot of transformational experiences that happen through the evening space, through the nighttime. So that's kind of what we're expanding and exploring into. Ooh, I am like super wordy today, Keone.
I've noticed.
I bet you have. So I haven't even done an Archangel channel.
No, you haven't.
And I'm actually feeling like I'm not supposed to do one because I feel like Michael has already come through. But let me just tune in if there's something that he maybe wants to say.
We usually go with feelings.
I usually do go with feelings. But I am going to just tune in and see if there's anything that he wants to say. So let me just see what's coming up there. He's just sharing. He's not actually coming through as a full channel. We're doing sort of the semi-conscious channel. So he's coming through basically saying, like, all debts are paid. So he wants to give everyone this feeling or this understanding that this isn't a karmic issue right now that we're talking about this week and moving forward, for I want to say for the foreseeable future. It's not about karma right now, although globally or collectively, there is some level of karma that we're sort of processing, but that's not the main issue. For each of us individually, it's not about karma. All debts are paid. So you're starting with a clean slate. And that's part of this sort of awakening and the bringer of change. It's also changing the way that we've been taught to think about ourselves and think about, the way that we are growing and experiencing through adversity. There is this idea out there that, because we did bad things in previous existences, now we've got to pay for that. And he's saying, no, all debts are paid. This has nothing to do with debt. This has nothing to do with emotional debt, energetic debt, personal debt. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with you're starting something new. And when you're starting something new, it's all about tapping into that creative space, the creative flow. It's the intuition. How many times have you started off with an idea and you have no idea, like it's something that you've never explored before? You get this inspiration and you're like, okay, I got to read a book on this, or I have to like Google this or something. I have to talk to somebody who even knows what this is, because I feel an inkling of, okay, I understand some of it, but I don't really understand all of it. And yet it's my inspiration. So all inspirations literally come from nothing. They come from, the elusive source, the ether, the spirit. And if all debts are paid, it means you don't have to access what has already been. He's saying change is coming not from what we've come from, but what we are creating in the moment right now. And we don't have to know. We don't have to understand, I need this and that and the other thing. That's part of the process of what is being built and created, is tapping into the intuitive space in each and every moment to figure out what it is that you need in that moment, because it will be provided. Maybe it's provided in you need a hammer, but it's going to be provided. And you didn't know 3 seconds ago that that's what you needed. But because you're changing your approach to this creative flow, this is what is presenting itself. So it feels like all debts are paid. Don't look at the past. Don't even connect with anything that's been done in the past. It is about right now, what am I receiving? how do I want to move forward based on what I'm receiving? Or based on what I'm receiving, this is how I'm supposed to move forward. And I'm going to take those next steps with confidence. I'm going to take those next steps because I am brave and courageous, and I know that I'm protected. Yeah, we're getting a butt kick today. Just a big old butt kick.
I'm just waiting for the angels to come in one day and just go, Keone needs a raise.
Keone, hear me. One of these days I'm going to do that to you and you're going to be like, what?
Yeah.
What just happened? All right. I am going to go into my happy place right now and come up with a couple of card pull questions. And Keone, you get to steal the show.
All right. I don't want to steal it. I'm just going to borrow it for a second, give it right back to you. We've got some awesome people in the waiting room, Beej and Melana, if you can hear me. Awesome. Waving at you. Okay, we'll have you come on. So if you would like to join live, please click the link that is in the chat. I will put it in there one more time just in case you are missing it. If you're on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If you're on Facebook, click the like or heart button. Remember to leave your comments. We see both of them, whether it's in Facebook and YouTube. If you want to come on live and you do not want to have your video on, that is all in well. We'll just listen to your audio. We'll do the online people first, and then we will get into some of the comments and questions in the chat. Thank you, everybody, for coming here. As usual, we've got a packed house tonight, so love that. So if you want to get in, I already see 4 people in the backstage. So if you want to get in, try to come on live so we can make sure we get to you. All right. Stacy, what are the questions?
All right. Card pull number 1. What card energy can help you love freely this week? What card energy can help you love freely this week? Card pull number 2. What card energy helps you to embrace your highest compassion through passion this week? What card energy helps you to embrace your highest compassion through passion?
Right. And she's asking those questions because this segment is called so hopefully you've grabbed those decks. So awesomely, we have first timer coming on here. Beej, how are you doing, Beej?
Hey, how are you?
Make sure you unmute yourself though. You're still muted. There you go.
Oh, so great to see you. You look cold, actually. Is it cold where you're at?
It's in the 60s. We're going dropping down probably in the 40s tonight.
Oh my goodness. Well, we get cold at night too, but we had like a 76-degree day today. So
yeah, we're in
like you're bundled. So I'm like, oh, you need a fireplace right now.
I have a fire pit in front of me. It's just not on.
Awesome. Well, so great to see you. So do you have your own deck with you that you want to pull cards? No.
I want question 1, but you can choose the deck.
Okay, question 1. And we're going to do the tarot for you today. So what card energy can help you love freely this week? Oh, this is the one. Oh, I love it. 5 of Fire, transformation. So 5 of Fire in this deck is actually 5 of Wands. And 5 of Wands, the way that I always sort of interpret it, is a card of focus or scattered energy. They're talking about transformation here. So I'm feeling like in terms of you loving freely, I feel like we're actually talking about focusing on your transformative goals is what I'm hearing, your transformative desires. How is it that you're wishing to be transformed? How is it that you are activating that transformation? 5 also is change and transformation, but it's also conflict. And what I'm feeling into for you this week is just be aware of your inner talk, your inner dialogue, because I'm feeling like you've got some inner conflict. And the inner conflict is not, I want to say it's not coming from anyone else, or it's not being triggered by, I want to say, an external conflict. It feels very much like it's you, in essence, kind of beating yourself up over something. So you're you're evaluating a choice or a decision or a previous conversation or whatever it is, and you already had resolve to it, but it's almost like you've seen it from a different light or a different perspective, and now suddenly you're kind of going back and you're beating yourself up over it. So I want to just call to mind the compassion piece, right? So it's important for you to have compassion for yourself. And I feel like that's why the sort of the conflict energy is coming through here a little bit, because you can transmute that conflict. You can transform I want to say the conversation that you've got going on inside yourself. So I see you nodding. So you probably already have an awareness of what this is, but I'm going to say to you this week moving forward, you got something that's gonna, I want to say it's going to make it even bigger, which my heart goes out to you because I've been there. I was there last week with the same kind of thing. And I'm like, can it get any worse? Boom. Yeah. Oh yeah, it just did. But the beauty of the worst is that now it's cleared through and it's done. Do it through that level of compassion. So, so important for you to be in that space of self-compassion. Really big. I also, just one more thing. I love that the depiction in this card is the sun. We've got the sun, the earth, and the moon kind of all together, which kind of like an eclipse, not gonna lie. And then here we've got all of these wonderful flames. It's like starbursts, or sunbursts, bursts of, there's a scientific word for it. I can't think of it right now. I'm in the clouds, but I feel like for you, this is also creativity that's going to be coming through you, and you're going to be inspired. And we've got the 5 here. What I'm actually seeing for you is 3. I feel you're going to have this week sort of 3 creative bursts that are, I want to say, you want to write them down, because 2 are going to be able to pretty much come to fruition pretty quickly. 1, you're going to percolate on it a little bit. You need to let the cake bake because there's something else that's going to be coming into the mix with that. But man, oh man, these are going to really turn into some really powerful experiences for you. And one of these things is even, I want to say, going to turn into possibly like a source of income. So I feel like there's some big stuff that's actually happening as you're exploring this conflict, whatever it happens to be.
Solar flares.
Yeah, solar flare.
Thank you. That's what it was. When I'm in the clouds, word schmerds.
I was yelling it and not realizing I was on mute the whole time.
Oh,
He ignoring me.
So you were being a mime. We were seeing the words, the mouth move, but we didn't know what was being said. Well, it's so awesome to see you, BJ. Sending you lots and lots of love.
Love back to you guys. Thanks.
All right, take care.
Okay, bye, dear.
Bye.
Next, we're going to have Ragu is in. He got beat out this week for the first time in 6 months.
Oh, my goodness. Hi, Ragu.
We're going to have Melanie on next. Melina.
Wow. Hi. Apparently, you're Melanie today.
I've been Melanie on and off my whole life, so that's fine.
Perfect.
And Melinda.
Melina.
Oh, yeah, I bet you get Melinda a lot. Actually,
Okay.
My autocorrect goes to Melinda sometimes, and I'm like, no, it's not what I said. It's not what I typed.
Well, your auto.
Yeah.
Well, your
That
auto-
happens a lot too.
Your auto-
Melanie, Melinda, Melissa, I get them all.
Yeah. Awesome. So, what are you pulling from your own deck today, or you want me to pull?
No. Why don't you pull? I don't care which question, whichever one you want. I trust you implicitly.
All right. So I'm also feeling the tarot. Oh, you guys just are getting a graceful experience with Morpheus. He never shows himself ever. And you guys just got to walk by. So I just want you all to know how privileged
like
you
the
all are to
cat.
see
I didn't go to a
beautiful,
house for a petting
our
zoo.
beautiful panther cat. He's my baby panther, and he's my cat in a cat's body. Neo is definitely the dog in a cat's body. All right. So Miss, what did we say? Melissa, Melina, Melinda, Melanie, your question is, I'm going to pull number 2. What card energy helps you to embrace your highest compassion through passion this week?
All right.
Oh, I love it. Universe. So this is the equivalent to the World card in tarot. And universe is basically saying, when we're talking about what helps you to embrace your highest compassion through passion. It's understanding that it's the sum total of everything that you've worked hard to achieve. And when we look at the card, it's almost like a little bit of a Stonehenge kind of experience, right? And you see this energetic being that is rising out of this particular portal. I feel for you that embracing you, helping you to embrace your highest compassion through passion is following the passion that you have that is connected to your energy, connected to your, I want to say, your spiritual identity or your energetic space. It's not, and it's funny that we were just joking about your names. None of it is really your name, because if you are a soul doesn't have name. Soul has feeling, soul has vibration. And so I feel like this is kind of inviting you to shed your identity, sort of that human identity piece, and really sort of step more into the sum total of who you know you are and who you know you are to be. And I feel like not only is this a message for you, Melina, but this is also a message for some people who are watching, that it is time to consider, who am I outside of this human persona that I am sort of projecting out into the world? It's not that the human persona is bad. It's part of who we are and how we show up in the world. But we're being invited and called now to, I want to say, embrace the more, go into the deeper layers and levels. And Melina, I know you because I've worked with you for quite a while now. You are all about working through these layers and getting to know these layers. This is an invitation this week to say, my passion is this exploration. And through this exploration and this becoming, I am the ultimate compassion, right? I become compassion because I am shedding all of this, I want to say, this human flotsam, all of this human nonsense and shenaniganery, and really getting to the heart of the matter, which is compassion simply is what it is. It's love. It's love of another person. It's acceptance of another person through compassion. And there's a particular issue, and because, you know, for confidentiality reasons, I'm just going to sort of talk high level here. There's a particular person, a particular dynamic and relationship that you've had some struggle with, that I feel this is a perfect way to, I want to say, shift the perspective on it while you're navigating those waters. It's understanding, yeah, this is the truth. And I have already achieved all of this. So it's about shedding all that other stuff and really just sort of stepping into what it is that I know. I'm a portal and I can access portals, and I bring all sorts of portal energy into the world that others need to feel, experience. And this is how I'm doing it. I get to go big or go home. This is a big figure, right? This is a big figure.
It is. It is. And what tarot card was it equivalent to in the traditional tarot?
The world.
You
so
mentioned
this is the last card in the major arcana. So the major arcana,
right.
22 cards. It begins with the Fool, 0, and it ends with the
right.
21. And
the world
is creation. So you're connecting to your own creation or your own creator, the creator that is within you.
Okay, well, I'm doing it. I'm hopping on that plane for New Mexico Friday, going to create.
Awesome. I'm so excited for you. Make sure you have a nice glass. Actually, I don't think you drink, but pretend to have a glass of wine for me. I've always wanted to go to New Mexico and haven't gotten there yet.
Okay, thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Have a blast. Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you, Melina.
Thank you. Bye-bye, Keone.
Nailed it.
Bam. Okay.
All right, now we've got the wonderful Alicia on here.
All right. Hi, Alicia. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? And shout out to Melina because she's a friend of mine. And
yes, I know. I see this. I was just gonna say you got your friend in the house too. This is awesome. So, are you gonna pull cards for yourself today, or do you want me to pull a card for you?
You can pull for me. I came on late, so I missed the beginning.
Okay, well, no worries at all. So here are the 2 questions. You can choose which question you want answered, and then you can tell me which deck you want, either the tarot or the oracle. So the first question is, what card energy can help you to love freely this week? The second question is, what card energy helps you to embrace your highest compassion through passion?
Second one.
Second one. Awesome. Tarot or oracle?
You decide.
I'm going to do tarot. It's a tarot day today.
Sounds good.
All right. So what card energy helps you to embrace your highest compassion through passion? Oh, I love it. One of shells, abundance. So this is actually the Ace of Cups. And I absolutely love the Ace of Cups for a number of reasons. Aces are always about new beginnings, fresh starts. The Ace of Cups in particular is also about initiations. It's about coming into something new that is, I want to say, sacred in nature. And you're about to, I mean, it's the potential for, I want to say, a new relationship, a new sacred practice. And I want to say it really is about relationship to self. And when we talk about cups energy, it's our ocean of emotion, but it's also for you this week, it's the realm of the psychic and tuning into what it is exactly that you're receiving and understanding that what you're receiving is there because it's giving you the opportunity to start fresh and new. So when we're talking about the card energy that helps you embrace your highest compassion through passion, it's starting something fresh and new. And I feel like when you're approaching others, and others are needing your compassion, or you're recognizing, ooh, that person is in kind of a rough spot, I want to send them something. What you want to tap into is what really lights your fire. And it's not necessarily that you're going to share that with them. It's more that you're connecting to what lights your fire and you're going to be sending that their way. But you're sending it in a more, I want to say, sort of like that ritualistic kind of place, like you're creating a new ritual for yourself or creating a new ceremony for yourself because you can, and because what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, this passion through compassion or compassion through passion piece, you're recognizing on an energetic level that, wow, I've never gotten to this level before. This is deeper. I want to be able to honor it. I want to be able to keep it sacred and keep it separate from the other ways that I choose to be in service and communicate. I feel like this is a very private thing for you. So not something that you're necessarily going to hang the shingle on the door and say, yeah, come on in for this service. It's more of a, wow, I'm witnessing, I just had this interaction with someone and I'm witnessing that they're in a lot of pain. And so I'm going to send some healing without telling them, without telling anybody else. And I'm creating this own little ceremony in my mind for how it goes. So I feel like in many ways, this is kind of unlocking for you this week, some more of your own magic and tapping you into, I want to say, a deeper sense of your wisdom and your knowing. And at the same time, giving you a challenge, not in like it's a challenge, more a challenge in ooh, I haven't felt this alive in a while. This feels good. So definitely feeling a lot of that energy today. I feel a little esoteric, a little pie in the sky with that for you today. Hopefully it makes some sense.
Nope, it's spot on. Thank you.
Awesome. I love it. Well, thanks so much for coming on today. So great to see your face. Normally we get to see each other through email, which really isn't seeing each other, right?
Right. Thank you.
Oh, you are
nice
so
to meet you too, Keone. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Alicia. Flying back from San Diego, my friend that was traveling with me, his ticket kept printing out wrong. And when the flight attendant came over, she said, what's the problem? He said, my ticket keeps saying I'm flying 31 December and I'm supposed to leave today. And so they're both trying to figure it out. And I said, you're both missing a bigger thing here. She said, what? I said, his ticket also says he's flying in 1969. And she looked and she's like, I don't know why that's printing that like that, but that's very interesting.
Oh my God.
We're trying to send us back in time. It was really weird.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's crazy. And to choose 1969 too. My goodness.
Well, how did that even happen? But we have the wonderful Raghu in today. Hi, Raghu.
Raghu, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you, Keone? How are you, Stacy? It's always great to see you.
So great to see you. So I understand from your other half that you guys are in, I think it's New York.
Yes.
Yes,
Awesome. How are you loving it there?
we just arrived.
Okay. So you're just starting your little vacation.
Yes.
I love it. Well, have a drink for me while you are in New York. We got a lot of people that are traveling right now. So think of me when you travel, or think of me when you have a glass of wine in another state or another city. That's how I love to toast and celebrate, is with a really delicious glass of wine, preferably local.
I don't have my deck today, so can you please pull a card for me?
Absolutely. Which question do you want to explore? 1 or 2?
I think 2 is more relevant for me.
Okay, sounds good. So what card energy helps you to embrace your highest compassion through passion? Oh, you had a jumper. You've got a 3 of shells, celebration. So in the traditional tarot, this is the 3 of cups. And 3 of cups is always about celebration. It is about a coming together. It is about community. It is about joy and laughter. And this is, it is celebration. They're using that celebration. So what I'm feeling here for you this week, when we're talking about embracing your highest compassion through passion, I feel like it's about laughter, fun, and joy. I feel like I'm a broken record with you, because I think I get this kind of message a lot for you. It's reminding you to get out of your head and to just enjoy life, enjoy, I want to say, being in the body and doing the things that this body allows us and affords us to do in this life. So celebration, I'm not even sure why you guys are in New York, but I suspect that there's some level of celebration. You don't need to be psychic to know that there's going to be some fun and frolic that's going on while you guys are away. But what I'm feeling here on a sort of a personal level for you is the compassion through passion. New York is the kind of place where a lot of people are running around and they're busy and they're not paying attention and they're not necessarily fully aware. The overall feeling in New York is everybody puts their headphones on and purposely sets out to ignore everyone and to pretend like it's their own little world in amongst this sea of so many people, right? I feel like for you, sort of the compassion through passion piece is about walking through that crowd and really making eye contact with people and smiling and bringing joy, even if they don't react to it or they don't acknowledge it. It's kind of hard to not smile at someone when they smile back at you. It's a little bit infectious, right? So I feel like it's less about the word celebration for you right now and more about you being playful and joyful in your experimentation of how many people you can actually knock out of their unawareness or their intentional, I can't think of the word right now, but like their intentional
aloofness.
Yes, their aloofness. They don't want to connect. They're purposely trying not to connect. But everybody really wants to connect. On the inside, everybody wants that connection. That's what brings you joy, is when you have connection with people and you get to have a conversation that goes deeper and you get to laugh. And so that's what I feel this is about, is you're actually going to be walking through these, throngs of people, and your passion is to express that joy and to make those connections. And you're going to be doing that by providing a lot of compassion to these people who are just, tuned in and tuned out, right? Interesting message, but that's what I'm getting for you. Also, make sure you go and you do something near the water, because I feel like for you as well on this trip, even though this wasn't necessarily the reason why you took the trip, I'm seeing that you doing something on the water or by the water is actually very cleansing for you, that you're going to come back feeling very much lighter on a physical level. So I feel that there's some physical shift and physical movement in a positive way, and it's connected to being on, over, or by that particular body of water. So make sure you're doing something around water while you're there.
Okay. Thank you, Stacy.
Absolutely. Sending you guys so much love, you and Indu both. Enjoy your time. Have a blast. There's the hand. There's the hand.
Thank you, Keone.
Thank you, Raghu.
Sending you guys love.
All right, Stacy, we have cleared the deck. That's nice to have a pretty packed studio back.
Oh my God, it's wonderful and beautiful. Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you to everyone who tuned in today. Just letting everyone know that it is kind of rough times right now, and people are really scared. They're concerned. They're freaking out. Mostly it's about the economy and finances. Sometimes it's about other things. If you are really looking for some clarity, or you're just wanting a little bit of reassurance about what you're receiving, this is what I do. I would love to help you out. I do 30 and 60-minute sessions where we can really go into that space and connect with your guides and give you some of that validation or that extra support or that extra comfort. Peeps, we all need it. We're all going through it. So consider booking a session with me. I would love to connect with you in that way. And I promise you, it's more often than not that when you leave a session that you do feel so much lighter. You feel more empowered. You feel like, okay, everything's going to be all right. I'm going to figure this out. Or I see the forest for the trees now. So consider that, especially if you're struggling. You can book on my website, theblackfeatherintuitive.com. Again, 30 and 60-minute sessions. There's the essential 30 and the profound 60. Of course, me and words. I always love words. Aw, cheerful Archer. Thank you so much. That's very sweet to say that. And Tammy, aw, thank you, Tammy. So sending everyone so much love, so much support. Tap into Archangel Michael as well if you need a little support around, I want to say, making those changes, accepting the changes that are coming through. Because let's face it, it's all about the change and transformation. That's what we're all here to do, whether we like it or not. That's what we're all here to do. So it's time for us to sort of embrace that and, like I said, face it head on and find ways to fall in love with the process. Have an amazing week, guys. Take care. Thanks, Keone.
Ciao.